Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, there's a new device on the market that allows drivers to go through tolls without being charged. The Florida Highway Patrol in South Florida arresting this man, Joshua Concepcion West, this week for a black cover that can come down over your license plate just before the car goes through the toll plaza. This is all to avoid a less than $2 toll fee. Troopers say they've never seen anything like it before. Concepcion West used the device and is now facing felony charges. ABC 7's Jacqueline Matter dug deeper into this issue here on the Suncoast and has more on what law enforcement agencies are doing to crack down. Jacqueline?
Yes, Scott, it's safe to say no one wants to pay tolls or red light tickets, but that doesn't mean taking that desire to extreme measures by illegally hiding your license plate. Florida Highway Patrol says thousands of dollars are lost each year to drivers who try to avoid paying those fines, but in the long run, they end up with paying even more by obstructing a license plate, which can then result in a traffic citation worth a couple $100 or worse, be classified as a felony.
This is not worth a criminal record. We have to think about what we're doing and make those good decisions. Because remember, as a patrolman, we very rarely will see someone trying to cover up their tag just to save $1.25 or $2. We're going to think that you are a criminal.
Now, I did a quick Google search and found dozens of websites showing ways you can hide your license plate, all ranging between a couple $100 to about $500. It is legal to sell those devices in the Sunshine State, but Trooper Watson says using them is not. He also says using bandanas, tilting your license plate, or anything to obstruct your tags is also illegal. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you. New at noon today, an update on a body found in Manatee County. Investigators have identified the victim. 56-year-old Olant Adrian was found dead at the intersection of 58th Avenue East and 21st Street East in Bradenton early Wednesday morning. Deputies say there was trauma to the body. They're investigating his death as a homicide. Anyone with information should call Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. An open field in Bradenton continues to be the dumping site of soiled toilet paper. We first reported about this issue a few months ago. Nearby residents complained of health concerns after used toilet paper was dumped near the intersection of Manatee Avenue East and 18th Street East. City of Bradenton cleaned up the area and promised to monitor the situation, but reportedly the problem has continued and city officials are not sure why this continues to happen. Residents say they've had enough.
It just make me feel terrible that they doing that, and it's not good for the environment,
The Department of Public Health Director in Manatee County says they have not had a complaint on that property since December, but they did investigate the property and have not found a health risk. More resources are being brought in to keep the city of Sarasota from dredging Big Pass, all in an effort to re-nourish Lido Beach. The Siesta Key Association is using a new environmental defense fund to legally block the city and the Corps of Engineers from starting the project. One former city and county commissioner thinks Lido may need another Band-Aid renourishment while this major project plays out.
They need the sand. The county's already helped them out once. I'm sure they'd be glad to help them out a second time, as there is a large beach nourishment pool of dollars that are collected from tourism exactly for that purpose.
Siesta Key residents are concerned dredging Big Pass could hurt their beach in the long run. All right, let's find out if it's a good beach day here on the Suncoast. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now, and weekend's almost here.
Yes, it sure is. Can almost smell it. And it looks like it's going to be a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It really does. In fact, this abnormally warm, dry condition that we have had across the Suncoast, in part because of La Nina, that has been well established out in the Pacific, is going to be sticking around right straight through, it looks like, into next week, late into next week. Yeah, we're going to detail that in a few minutes. But for today, beautiful out there, a lot of blue sky, some fair weather clouds, and is there a possibility of a patch of drizzle? Yeah, but it's about 10% or so. There are a few showers that have tried to make their way into the region, but I'll tell you what, they're coming in from the other coast, and the tendency is for these to all die out before they make it to the coastline. Hardee and DeSoto County both have about a 20% chance of seeing some patchy drizzle. virtually immeasurable. It certainly won't add much to the rain bucket. And a little bit of cloudiness around from time to time today, more so than yesterday. We'll put the daytime high at about 80 degrees and about a 10% rain chance for inland areas, mostly, not so much along the coastline. The weekend looks fantastic. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. More new development may be on the way near University Parkway. Developers for Medallion Home are planning to build on a 19-acre site near I-75 and Town Center Parkway. That's right near the mall at University Town Center. Plans call for 2 office spaces, an assisted living facility, and multifamily residential units. Medallion Home only has preliminary approval for these projects. A final approval is still needed from county commissioners. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a look at the day on Wall Street. And Jeff, we're just 2 weeks into 2017 now, 1 week from a new president. How are we looking so far?
Scott, that is correct. So far, we're looking pretty well. NASDAQ's leading the way around 3%, followed by the S&P, half that, around 1.5% for the 2 weeks, while Dow is 0.75%. The December numbers came in for retail sales. They were strong. Some big banks reported today. Those are looking good. So all in all, I would say we're looking pretty good in the first 2 weeks. I woke up this morning, the futures were positive, so let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is trading at 19,908, up 12 points, almost 0.1%, while NASDAQ's trading at 5,579, up 31 points, over 0.5%, leading the way. S&P 2,276, up 6%, 0.25%.
And Jeff, I hear Nintendo may be changing the gaming world with its newest console. What do we know so far about it?
Scott, they're at it again. They're coming out with something called a Switch. On March 3rd for $299, you'll be able to get one. It's a handheld system that can easily transform into a console for home. Joy-Con detachable controllers, which have motion features, infrared computers on there. That's really what's powering this. One possible negative would be a battery life of only about 2.5 to 6%. Some cool games are coming out from the past, like Zelda as well as Mario Kart. Over 80 games so far. NTDOF is the symbol. It's a very volatile stock, but it's actually up 55% from a year ago. So, Scott, know your favorite games, Zelda and Mario, are coming back. Right. Take it with you.
All right, sounds good. And I understand that you and Richard are hosting a discussion on what to look for in the coming new year.
Definitely. It's been a popular subject. So we're having people at our office on Thursday the 19th at 1:30. Please come RSVP 906-2841. That's area code 941. We'll start right around 1:30 and talk about what the future has for 2017.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Enjoy yours, Scott.
All right, we will. Thank you. New this afternoon, Jack Daniel's is going into the coffee business. The liquor giant launching its very own Tennessee whiskey coffee. The company partnered with World of Coffee to create the concoction. They say it has the authentic taste and aroma of Jack Daniel's, but it doesn't have any alcohol in it. The morning brew is selling for $21.95 for an 8.8-ounce tin can of coffee. All right, time to check in for the first time with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. She's joining us live today from Prime Sirius Steak in Sarasota. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. I'm so excited to come here today. We're standing in Prime Sirius, one of Sarasota's newest restaurants to open, and I love it. I've already been here a half a dozen times. It's right next to Costco. It's open for dinner and Sunday brunch. One of my favorite things is when you first come in, you can just watch the butchers cutting your steaks, or you can actually order something that they call a custom cut. So if you're a big eater and you want a big custom cut, or maybe you just want to ask some questions, what is the marbling in a ribeye, or what are the different sizes of filet? They're going to be able to answer all that for you and more. So stay with me throughout the hour as I come to you from Prime Sirius. Make that a 24-ounce bone-in ribeye, okay?
Yes, Chef Judy.
There we go.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
What does it mean when New South Windows says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Ford Florida Home.
By Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s. Don't miss the Luxury by the Bay event, Saturday, January 21st from noon till 4 p.m. at Harbor Isle. Water ski show, luxury cars, wine tasting, model home tours, and more.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500, starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Got an easterly wind again establishing itself and bringing in moisture from the Atlantic. A few fair weather clouds as well passing by, but a lot of blue sky, basically dry air aloft, all leading to gorgeous weather. 77 already, no reason to think we won't hit the 80-degree mark again today. Dew point, as I mentioned a couple days ago, has finally hit the 60 mark. In fact, exceeded it. Now it's 62. You definitely notice a little bit more humidity, a little bit more moisture in the air today, and it led to a little bit of patchy fog around this morning. I think we'll have the same thing again tomorrow morning and probably Sunday morning as well. A little bit of patchy fog, though by tomorrow morning the winds may be up just a little bit, so I think over the weekend our best likelihood of some fog will probably be on Sunday morning. 76 degrees Mayac, Arcadia at 76, Wauchula 75, 76 Parrish, Bradenton 77 in Sarasota, Longboat Key a little cooler at 73, 76 in Venice, 74 in Inglewood, and 76 degrees in Northport. You can see the transport of moisture from Atlantic to our area, aloft anyway, by these cloud patterns coming in from the Atlantic and crossing the state. The thing is, the air is still sufficiently dry that as these clouds and rain showers start moving across the state, they begin to just dissipate because they need that moisture supply of the Atlantic Ocean to sustain the rains across the state. So, under the influence of this big high-pressure ridge, which has basically been sitting in the same place for days now and will sit in the same place for at least another 4 or 5 days, not much changes. You know, we do get that little bit more humidity in the air. We do work in a chance of some patchy fog. You've got that chance that the easterly wind may bring in an isolated patch of sprinkles, particularly in Hardee and DeSoto counties and inland, Sarasota and Manatee and Charlotte counties. But as far as any of these larger scale low pressure areas that are producing ice showers through parts of the center part of the country and snowstorms back to the west, we're kind of protected from any sort of influence from those as they ride up over top of that high pressure ridge. And so we are left with this continuing weather pattern. What will eventually have to happen, and this won't happen until next week, is that this high pressure area will have to get chipped away by little areas of low pressure one after another until finally there's a weakness in it that will allow for some weather to approach. But that's not happening anytime soon. Mostly sunny skies, a few fair weather clouds, and just some patchy fog. And by the way, looking at long-term projections into next week, Inauguration Day in D.C. looks like it could be as warm as 20 degrees above average. And probably sunny skies, kind of sandwiched in between 2 areas of low pressure and 2 days of inclement weather, probably on Thursday and probably again on Saturday, with Inauguration Day looking like it'll be decent weather. Across the area, well, if you're looking for snowfall, there's just not a lot of it in the northeast. Some patchy areas of light snow, that's about it. Back to the west, though, around Denver, that's where the snows continue to accumulate. Anywhere from Denver all the way back to California, some pretty good mountain snows, which is great drought-busting snows that'll help out when it comes time for those water reservoirs to be refilled and the snow melts. Northeast wind coming in at about 10 knots this evening, maybe a little bit of a surge coming in at about 10 to 15. And the weekend, looks great. Lots of sunshine. A little bit breezy Saturday as that low that's producing the ice storm gets a little closer to the south, but still beautiful weather. Little chance of a shower or two, maybe, in inland areas. And temperatures stay above average and warm right straight through next week. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you so much. In health news today, there are new concerns about the popular food spread Nutella. A study says its ingredient, palm oil, could be linked to increased cancer risk. But its producers say the way their popular product is made makes it safe. ABC's Mara Schiavocampo explains.
The makers of Nutella fighting back against some not-so-sweet health claims that an ingredient in their chocolate and hazelnut spread could cause cancer.
It's a good wake-up call for understanding the potential ramifications of processing oils the way that we do.
This after food safety officials in Europe found palm oil used in Nutella poses a potential cancer risk. Palm oil, the most popular vegetable oil in the world, is found in everything from ice cream to pizza dough. But this new report says it can create carcinogens when processed at temperatures above 393 degrees, as is the case with Nutella. While researchers don't say consumers should stop eating palm oil products, they do say more study is necessary.
It's been never really pinpointed what is it about processed food that makes it so harmful for our health.
Now, Ferrero, the company behind Nutella, is running this new commercial in Italy.
Il nostro olio di palma è sicuro.
Saying their palm oil is safe. Adding in a statement to ABC News, when palm oil is refined correctly, it contains a lower level of contaminants than other vegetable oil. Mara Schiavocampo, ABC News, New York.
Some hopeful news for former President Jimmy Carter today. The 92-year-old says there are no signs of cancer in his body. Carter sharing that news in an interview with CNN. In the summer of 2015, Carter announced he had a deadly form of skin cancer called melanoma. It was first found in his liver before it spread to his brain. But by winter, he announced the scans no longer showed signs of the cancer. He credits the improvement to a new method of treatment called immunotherapy. The treatment utilizes the immune system to target cancerous tumors and rid his body of any evidence of cancer.
I get, scans of my brain and my body every 3 months. In fact, I get another one this week. For the last 6 months, I haven't had any sign of cancer.
In the interview, Carter also talked about the efforts in eradicating Guinea worm disease infections across the world. It is a parasite that affects 3.5 million people worldwide. Carter says he hopes to outlive the worm disease and find a better treatment for it. Up next, we're going to meet our pets of the week. And then later, warm regards and advice for Sasha and Malia Obama. Now the sisters are being welcomed into an exclusive new club. We'll be right back.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Being a caregiver at Granny Nanny's, there's nothing else like it.
When you build that relationship and form that bond, it's rewarding.
It feels wonderful.
You feel like you're part of the family.
And every patient I meet becomes part of my family.
I love my job. It's who I am and it's what I do. It's about giving them the quality of life they deserve.
It's bringing loving care to home care.
I am Granny Nannies.
I am Granny Nannies.
I am Granny Nannies.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Come meet the artists and enjoy their creations at the Sarasota Fine Art Festival. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 5th Annual Sarasota Fine Art Festival, Saturday and Sunday, January 14th and 15th on Main Street between Osprey and Orange Avenues in downtown Sarasota. Bring your love and appreciation of art to the Sarasota Fine Art Festival. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
I support Goodwill because when I donate or shop, I have the power. The power to change lives.
So get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
All right, it's time now to meet our pets of the week. They're two miniature poodles who I'm told are lots of fun, and they sure are adorable. John joins the founder of Dante's Den and host of Animal Outtakes, Marsha Panucci. Hey, y'all.
Hi, two gorgeous poodles that we have here. You know, you gotta love poodles. They're so smart, so kind.
Yes, and they love cameras. Did you notice?
Yeah.
You have Rocco.
Hi, Rocco.
And I have Harley. Now, Rocco and Harley must go as a pair because they cannot exist without one another.
How long have they been together since?
Well, they're 5 years old. They'll be 5 in May, and so they've been together. And they, you know, some dogs, John.
It wouldn't be fair to separate
No,
them.
some dogs really have to be bonded together, and these two definitely do. And you know, you always want two dogs or more.
They should be in pairs.
Absolutely, because one will
true.
teach the other, and they'll keep each other company. These two love to be couch potatoes, and in fact I'm told that if they are on a couch they'll kind of wrap themselves up like a pretzel, and you'll be petting one or both of them, but you're not quite sure which. There they are. Aren't they adorable? And they do bark when people come up to the front door.
Which
they will
is
let
good.
you know this is what you want for sure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they've kind of had a tough life. They were in a family, but their mom passed away. And so we need to find them a wonderful home that they can play together and ride cars. They love to ride in the cars. They're not the greatest with small children. They would like to have a little older child to play with, or possibly, you know, some seniors that would be able to take care of these two dogs. So we have wonderful pups here. And you know what's so gorgeous? Look at how beautiful they are. They're one of the most beautiful dogs that we have in the dog kingdom.
Oh, they're great.
And look at that. I mean, the grooming is absolutely wonderful. And of course, you know, they are hyperallergenic.
That's true. That's true. They don't shed much.
They don't shed at all, no.
And they're really smart. Poodles are a really smart breed.
Yes, yes. Well, you know, I have a German Shepherd. I'm going to challenge you on that as to whether he's number one or these are number one. But they are very, very smart, easy to train. And look at the loving face that Harley has, and of course Roku.
And the process
Rocco.
for adoption is?
Well, it's through Florida Poodle Rescue, and you need to give them a call at 727-265-1766, and you fill out an application. They will call you, and then, of course, they will start the process. And you, John, were one of their star people.
Oh, well, I love the dog I got from them. Absolutely great dogs. So they're available. Pick them up. They'll make your home a happy place to come home to. Scott?
Marcia, John, thank you both. Well, we still have a few more weeks until the Super Bowl is played, and it's too soon to tell if the Patriots will make it that far. But even if they don't, Tom Brady will be there in some way. The superstar quarterback is starring in the first big Super Bowl commercial this year for Intel. In it, Brady is seen going through a morning ritual, waking up, brushing his teeth, flipping some pancakes, all to promote Intel's 360 replay technology. Super Bowl ads this year are expected to cost about $5 million for a 30-second spot. All right, time now to get back to Chef Judy. She's joining us live today from a great place to have steak, Prime Sirius in Sarasota. Hi, Judy.
That's right, Scott. I wish you and John Scalzi could be here to join me, but I can at least show you how great Prime Sirius Steakhouse is. And I wanted to introduce you to one of the owners right here, Mark Costanzo. Mark, thanks for having us in today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you guys here today, for sure. I'm glad. I hope you're hungry.
Always. Now, I want to warn our viewers right away. You're open for Sunday brunch, but the rest of the week is dinner only. We're bringing this special for you, so you can come in a few hours. But tell us about Prime and the inception of it and what brought you up to Sarasota.
And we started 3 years ago in Port Charlotte, and we've had a great run. The response from our guests has been wonderful. Social media, what have you. The staff, which is my favorite part of the whole thing, really has come together. And, you know, you look for places that feel good when you walk in the room. And this room here had some great bones in it. Then my partners and I just came in and said, let's turn this into another Prime. And that's what we did.
What should people expect when they walk in the door coming to Prime? What do you want them to know about the type of quality that you serve, and what is the overall experience?
Well, Iowa corn-fed beef, and we age it on the premise 14 days. We get it in on 14 days, so it's a full 28-day age. What I like to say is we have fun. Our guests, we want to have fun. Our staff, we want to have fun. But it's in our name. We're serious about steak. And we're serious about food, and I hope that what looks on the table, indicates that.
Well, what I love about the concept as well is that it's that in-between step. So you can come out and have this wonderful, delicious dry-aged steak and a great bottle of wine, but not pay exorbitant prices. And tell everybody what's included when they order the entree.
Well, you get a choice of one of our homemade sides, cream spinach, Hasselback potato, and also a tableside salad. Which we make right at your table with our homemade dressing.
And homemade popovers. Being that we're both from Connecticut, any New Englander is going to know it's about the popovers. Thank you so much, Mark. I look forward to talking to Chef Adam in a few minutes, and stay with me. There's so much more deliciousness to come right here at Prime.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Ford Florida Homes.
By Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts, and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
It's time to go boating, but first, don't miss the 16th Annual Charlotte County Boat Show, January 12th to the 15th at the Charlotte County Fairgrounds. Show admission is free and on-site parking is only $5. January 12th to the 15th. Visit GoBoatingFlorida.com for more information.
We consider the first 60 minutes the golden hour, the time that we can do the most to affect how a patient's going to do. I think what motivates all of us is that at the other end of it, we see them, smiling and happy and going back to their families. That's our greatest satisfaction. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is just an amazing place to take care of people.
Start the year off with a great deal during the Start Something New event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Ram trucks are built tough and have plenty of power to handle any job with all the comforts you'd expect in a luxury vehicle. And right now, all 2016 quad cabs are over 20% off, with new Ram trucks starting at just $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman are the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. A policy that has allowed thousands of Cubans who have reached the shores of the United States to stay here is no more. President Obama ending the long-standing wet foot, dry foot policy. It ends automatic legal residency for any Cuban who touches U.S. soil. The Cuban government is praising the president's decision, but it's not popular with some immigrants.
These kind of people, they can return to Cuba because the government of Castro is alive. They kill the people if the United States return to Cuba.
I'm glad they should stay there and fight to get free instead of coming here and then do nothing.
Thousands of Cubans have been flocking to the U.S. since the two countries reestablished relations in 2014. On Capitol Hill, the tables are being turned on the Hillary Clinton email investigation. The Justice Department is now looking into whether FBI Director James Comey and others followed proper procedures investigating those emails. The FBI reopened the Hillary Clinton case only 11 days before the presidential election.
He's always been, you don't do it close to an election. You don't want anybody to think the department is acting to influence an election.
Also under investigation is an assistant attorney general who allegedly leaked information to the Clinton campaign and possible leaks to the Trump campaign, specifically to Rudy Giuliani. The FBI is not commenting on the investigations. A former Florida governor says the chances of him running for president again are slim to none. Former Governor Jeb Bush says it's unlikely he'll run for office again. His bid for the presidency was derailed by the eventual winner, President-elect Donald Trump, when he lost the South Carolina primary. Bush says he's now focused on building up his business and working with the foundation he created to push for changes in education policy. The daughters of former President George W. Bush are welcoming the Obama sisters in the former First Children's Club. Jenna Bush Hager and Barbara Bush posting an online letter to Malia and Sasha Obama for Time magazine. It's a follow-up of sorts to a letter they wrote them 8 years ago to offer them advice as they entered the White House. In this letter, the Bush twins say that as former first children, they'll be taking a position they didn't seek and one with no guidelines. They also advise the teens to use their experiences to help make positive change. The Bush sisters are now 35 years old. Malia is 18, Sasha 15. You can read the full letter on our website. Just go to mysuncoast.com and look under links we mentioned. Happening today, astronauts at the International Space Station taking another spacewalk to do some more maintenance work. The astronauts are plugging in 3 lithium-ion batteries outside of the space station. This is the same kind of work they did just last Friday. NASA says these new batteries are critical long-term upgrades to the station's solar power system. The spacewalk is expected to wrap up very shortly, right around 1 o'clock this afternoon. And as I checked online a little while ago, and it looked like they were finishing up. They were starting to put some tools away and things, but it's a success for them.
I've been watching them all week long. It's kind of fun to see them up there, just doing their job, It's like just another day at work, and it's just amazing. Just
office
amazing.
with a view, huh?
Talk about a view. Yeah, absolutely right. That must be exhausting work too, I would think.
Yeah.
Pulling yourself around and all that. Although it is in zero gravity, it's still I bet it's hard work. A lot of taxing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We have a fair amount of beautiful blue sky out there to start the morning off, but watch what happens. We'll put the camera into motion and watch as you see those clouds begin to roll in. They're coming in from the east, and the reason for them is that long fetch of air over the Atlantic waters picking up moisture and kind of hurling it back this way. We've seen this now every day. The only thing is yesterday we didn't see as much rain showers associated with this. High pressure was kind of a little bit more centered over us. Now some weaknesses in that high are allowing for a scattered shower or two in inland areas. Put the rain chance at about 10% for inland areas. A lot of what you saw not reaching the ground. Don't think we'll see much near the coast, but we will see some warm temperatures. Daytime high today near the 80-degree mark. Over the weekend, the beat goes on, but there are changes down the road, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. An update this afternoon on the police shooting in Orlando. Authorities now believe the suspect, Markeith Lloyd, was wearing a bulletproof vest when he shot and killed Master Sergeant Deborah Clayton. Orlando's police chief says Clayton apparently hit Lloyd with return fire, but that the vest protected him. A massive manhunt is still underway for Lloyd, and a $100,000 reward is being offered for any information that can lead to his arrest. Meanwhile, funerals have begun for the fallen officers. Services for Deputy First Class Norman Lewis started at 11 o'clock this morning at the First Baptist Church in Orlando. Lewis was from Charlotte County, graduating from Port Charlotte High School. A second funeral was scheduled for Sunday, but has now been changed to Monday in Port Charlotte. Master Sergeant Deborah Clayton will be laid to rest tomorrow afternoon at First Baptist Church in Orlando. Governor Rick Scott has ordered flags at the Orange County Courthouse and other locations to fly at half-staff today and tomorrow to honor them. The Justice Department releasing a major report on the Chicago Police Department after a year-long civil rights investigation. That report finding a pattern and practice of violations over the years. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez explains.
The Department of Justice finding the Chicago Police Department has a pattern of using excessive force. Its report released today after a 13-month federal investigation.
We found that CPD does not adequately train its officers to use the appropriate amount of force.
These are serious problems, and they bear serious consequences for all Chicagoans.
The probe launched after police killed unarmed 17-year-old Laquan McDonald, shooting him 16 times in October of 2014. The video wasn't released until more than a year later, leading to protests and demands for change.
My general approach will be to build off of what we've done over the last year and to continue to make the reforms and changes that are necessary.
The goal of the report to set that change into motion and follow a process similar to one unfolding in Baltimore. There, after the death of Freddie Gray in police custody, a DOJ investigation found similar problems within the police department. And just yesterday, Baltimore police reached an agreement with federal authorities to put sweeping reforms in place.
To increase transparency, public input, oversight, accountability. It imposes discipline and fair treatment.
And today, the Attorney General announced the City of Chicago agreed to begin negotiating a similar agreement, adding they'll continue meeting with citizens, officers, and city leaders there to work on finding solutions. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
In California, 2 flight attendants fell ill after a white powder fell from an air vent. The strange powder was reported yesterday on an Alaskan Airlines plane. No passengers reported any symptoms, and the pilots were not affected. A preliminary investigation revealed the substance was probably residue from the aircraft's de-icing system, which is not toxic. The plane landed in San Jose from Seattle. In consumer news, more Toyota vehicles are being added to the Takata airbag recalls. The sedans and SUVs affected, listed there on your screen. They include the Scion XB, Corolla, the Matrix, the Toyota Yaris, 4Runner, and various versions of Lexuses made between 2006 and 2012. Takata is at the center of a massive recall of inflators that can explode in a crash. At least 16 people have been killed and about 180 have been injured across the world. Soon there will be no more free charging for Tesla. The company says new models bought after January 15th of this year, which is Sunday, will no longer have free unlimited charging. Instead, the free charging will be capped at 400 kilowatt hours a year, or about 1,000 miles. After that, drivers will have to pay a fee. Costs will vary by state. Some would require pricing by the minute. Time now, let's get back to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. She's live today from Prime Sirius Steak in Sarasota. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. So much deliciousness right here, and I want to introduce you to Chef Adam, who makes it all happen. Let's go around the table and see what you prepared today.
Sure. Today we have a 9-ounce upper choice filet with a grilled lobster tail with the clarified butter. And then right over here we have a Maniac burger, which we do on our Sunday brunch, which has a coleslaw and a...
Is that lobster on top of the burger?
Yes, ma'am. And then also we have a bone-in prime steak, or prime ribeye, 22 ounces with a loaded Hasselback.
And what is a Hasselback?
A Hasselback is a fried, basically, potato, where we do almost like accordion style with the slices, and then we deep fry it.
Oh my gosh, it is so good. And I've had that steak with that Hasselback before, and it's nice that the potato comes with the steak. Let's go over to this.
Sure. Right here we have a 14-ounce bone-in, double-bone pork chop. We were bacon wrap and we sear. We bake off in the oven with our own brown sugar and Cajun seasoning, and then we top it with a bourbon glaze.
Oh my gosh, and it's served with your cream spinach?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of our sides.
And your onion soup is so creative.
Yes, we have a pub-style onion soup, which is basically caramelized onions and a Guinness base.
And popover. Notice popover.
Popover on top with the Vardy horseradish.
I love it. And again, thinking about the Sunday brunch.
Another burger we have a choice is our Sunday. On our Sunday brunch is our Cochrane Boulevard, which is basically named after the street where we started on.
Ah.
Okay. It comes with a Vardy horseradish, bacon, and onions and mushrooms.
Whoa, and might I compliment you on steak fries?
Yes.
I like to know that I'm eating a potato. And finally, Dave Torino, our camera person, has already claimed this as his lunch, but let's talk about it before he tucks in.
Sure. We have our marinated lamb chops that we marinate for 24 hours, and we top it with a Cabernet rosemary reduction with mushrooms and tomatoes. And we also, right here, we're serving it with the grilled asparagus with our own béarnaise.
And you haven't even seen a third of the menu. There's prime rib, there's seafood, there's so much more. So seriously, listen to me. Come out to Prime Serious Steakhouse. But wait, there's still dessert to come in just a few moments.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Come meet the artists and enjoy their creations at the Sarasota Fine Art Festival. Over 100 artists and thousands of works of contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 5th Annual Sarasota Fine Art Festival, Saturday and Sunday, January 14th and 15th on Main Street between Osprey and Orange Avenues in downtown Sarasota. Bring your love and appreciation of art to the Sarasota Fine Art Festival. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Warm again today, 77 degrees. You know, if you look at La Nina and the forecast that La Nina causes a warmer than average, drier than average winter period, and I think you have to consider that in the light of what we have seen so far this winter. That plus the signature of climate change, I suppose. I think we are in for another 30, maybe 60 days of above average temperatures and below average precipitation before the long-term forecasts of a La Nina kind of breaking down into a more neutral period come to pass. And then we'll start to see things moderate a little bit. But certainly for the week ahead, we are going to be running above average and warm. And there's no changing that. East-northeast wind coming in at about 10, a little bit of fair weather clouds, higher humidity because of that persistent easterly flow, that long fetch off Atlantic waters, bringing moisture back our way. And we got a little bit of cloud cover around today to attest to that. High pressure remains the dominant weather feature, though, for us in the deep south, kind of taking all these little systems that have come in from the Pacific and pushing them north. Meanwhile, the colder air sinking southward is kind of locked to the north by this general west to east flow of the weather patterns, so that high pressure ridge takes these systems, including a large ice storm, and sends it up toward the Ohio Valley. And this low pressure area, which is moving very slowly and produced some pretty good snowfall totals in and around the Denver area, continues to drop more snow there. High pressure, the cold high pressure area that came out of Canada, the Arctic high, remains to the north still, and that cold air is still amassing up there. One of these days it's going to have to break loose, but it certainly doesn't look like it's going to do so anytime soon. Mostly sunny skies, a few fair weather clouds, and some patchy fog around over the next several days. So I think winds might pick up a little bit. Take a look at the really cold air. Again, it's locked kind of to the north, and you see that general pattern over the long term of a west to east flow without much of a southern tilt. Now, I will tell you that the warm air down to the south will start lifting next week as far north as Washington, D.C. And while they're having temperatures in the 30s and 40s, I think by the time we get to next Friday, Inauguration Day, temperatures will probably be close to the 60 mark, running around 20 degrees above average if the long-term forecasts work out right. And so far, they've been looking pretty good. Northeast wind comes in at about 10. Now, as that low that's producing the ice storm north of us kind of scoots across the mid-Atlantic states, our winds may in response kind of pick up as that pressure gradient tightens just a little bit, and we get more of a funneling effect. So this evening, might be a little tighter. Then tomorrow, too. Tonight, we might get a little bit of break in those winds coming in at about 5 to 10. But watch tomorrow, boaters. The wind speeds might pick up just a little bit. 80 today, tomorrow, and over the course of the week ahead, above average temperatures. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Several local law enforcement agencies treated to lunch today. Kids at Rogers Garden Bullock Elementary School hosting first responders this morning. Officers from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, Bradenton Police, Palmetto Police Department, and others sat down and had the opportunity to talk to the little ones, kids in the cafeteria. Superintendent Dr. Diana Green says it's the district's way to say thank you to those who risk their lives every day to keep us all safe, and the first responders are very appreciative.
We love opportunities like this to sit down with kids in kind of a non-stressful, non-emergency kind of setting. It means the difference in the world. I know it's a big deal to the kids too.
I will say thank you to the community.
Today's lunch was all part of First Responders Appreciation Week, which wraps up today. Other schools like Harley Middle and Myakka Elementary already hosted Fire and Law Enforcement Appreciation Days. When we come back, we'll check back one last time with Chef Judy and a new location and high-tech ticket sales for a blockbuster musical called Hamilton. You may have heard of it. We'll have the details in entertainment news.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s. Don't miss the Luxury by the Bay event, Saturday, January 21st from noon till 4 p.m. at Harbor Isle. Water ski show, luxury cars, wine tasting, model home tours, and more.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Your home is the largest investment you have. So when you're looking for furniture, window treatments, and accessories from America's top brands like Henredon, American Leather, and Hunter Douglas, the only place you need to go is Bacon's. Quality, service, price. Bacon's Furniture and Design, Sarasota.
And we have to have some fun with dessert, right? So look at this. What's the name of this dessert?
This is an ice cream flambe.
Okay, let's go for it. I'm trusting you
We're
now,
going
Ryan.
for it.
There we go. Oh man, look at that. Beautiful. And it's just gonna melt down that toffee. Fantastic. We also have a beautiful chocolate cake, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Layer, layer, layer. And tell us about the cheesecake on the end here.
It's a salted caramel cheesecake.
Well, I got to tell you, Ryan is lighting up dessert.
Yes.
It's been a great experience right here at Prime. Remember, they don't take reservations. They're open nightly for dinner, and they serve Sunday burger brunch. You're going to love it. Thank you, everybody from here. It's been great. Ryan, great job on not burning down the house.
We appreciate it.
Cheers, everybody.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. It all looks delicious. Thank you so much. All right, in entertainment news, after endless backlash, a British television network has decided to cancel a comedy series about Michael Jackson. First told you about this story yesterday. Actor Joseph Fiennes was selected to play the King of Pop in a series called Urban Myths. Well, social media immediately erupted over the news, calling the casting racist and offensive. The network scrapped the show in light of concerns expressed by Jackson's family. Fiennes says he supports that decision. The Tuskegee Airmen saluted last night during ABC's special Taking the Stage, African American Music and Stories That Changed America. The 2-hour celebration highlighted the Smithsonian's new National Museum of African American History and Culture. Actor Tom Hanks was there to introduce the airmen on stage.
Tuskegee fighters destroyed over 200 German aircraft, won 112 aerial victories, and those African-American pilots were awarded 96 Distinguished Flying Crosses. They had shown that every African-American, every human being, given the chance, can rise to his or her greatest potential.
Show was filmed live last night from the JFK Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. Hamilton is taking its act to London. The blockbuster musical hits the West End in November for a 7-month run there. And to foil the scalpers, fake ticket sellers, and others that swarm the Broadway box office, the London production will not issue physical tickets. Instead, to get into the theater, patrons will have to swipe the credit or debit cards they used to buy their tickets. Good idea. Finally this afternoon, an expectant mother in New Hampshire gets the shock of a lifetime when she finds out that she's not having one, not two, but 4 babies. Oh. Corey Cook was 28 weeks into her pregnancy when she found out. She and her husband already have a 3-year-old son. Cook says they always wanted more kids, and the news of quadruplets is going to be more than enough. They say their biggest concern right now is getting strollers, cribs, and car seats and everything else you need for all those babies. Quadruplet pregnancies can be risky, and they're extremely rare. The odds of naturally conceiving them, 1 in 700,000. Well, despite that, the couple says they are over the moon and are extremely blessed and happy. Good for them.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yes.
4 at once. Can you imagine?
No.
I can't either.
Not in my wildest dreams can I imagine
one
that.
was hard.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, so it's easier for the guy, I guess, for the husband than it is for the wife there.
Wow.
But goodness no.
We wish them the best.
Beautiful weather shaping up for you this afternoon. A few fair weather clouds, slight chance of a shower in mostly inland areas. Same thing holds true tomorrow. Warmer than average by a good 7-8 degrees, I think, over the next couple of days. And then maybe by the end of next week, maybe we'll have a better chance of some rainfall.
Okay. John, thank you. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you again at 5.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.